And so please describe to me what the aesthetic look is exactly.
Well, like this guy here.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and bring
Oh wow, you really have to come in here?
like this guy here.
Is this
No,
is this really happening? He met the other guy behind you, bro. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm right into that bad boy.
You can stay right there, behind the camera, behind the camera. No, see now you got me jealous now.
That's okay.
That's not
no,
fair.
but you're more in the category like Luther Arnold. Okay?
My man. Yeah. Arnold Ferrigno. Huh?
Okay.
Aesthetic. That's great, partner. You two ever go out place everything in its proper place?
That does not make sense, but we usually do go. We head to Kroger's, and we work.
Oh, yeah. I've got a lady waiting for me back home also. She has the most beautiful scrotum. Oh, God. And when she sings, she sounds just like a puppy dog. How do you nail a photo?
Just gotta get in the mode. You gotta talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes. You
Okay,
gotta
so
have the eyes.
can you show me a little bit of something, like to this camera? I would love to know how to do this. I just want to know.
Well,
how do you do it? Teach me something.
You can get the sexy eyes. Then you gotta get the smile. Smile going on some shoes, but
Wait, hold up.
I gotta
when it's
try
time,
this. When it's time to laugh,
I gotta try this
you gotta
with
think
you.
of something funny and start laughing.
Do it again. Do it again. How do you do it? Teach me.
Sexy eyes.
The sexy eye.
Just a sexy eye right here.
Smizing?
Smile.
So you're smizing.
Smile.
Okay.
And then you gotta get the.
No, I look like I need to take a poop or something.
Wish words were like little toy guns. No sting, no hurt, no one, just a bang, bang. Right?
Is that it?
Yeah, it's something like that. Just a bang,
Toy
bang,
guns.
rolling off your tongue.
Toy guns.
It's no smoke, no
Bang, bang.
bullets.
Water guns. All right.
Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Good morning, everybody. It's Thursday, y'all. Hope y'all are enjoying your day. I hope you guys are just envisioning a positive and wonderful one out there. You know what I'm saying? And making it great today. You know what I mean? Making it a thriving and thrilling Thursday. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful one. You know what I'm saying? It is that time to talk about the news and talk about what's going on lately, because there's a lot of things that have been popping off, some new updates on some things. We got to talk about some things that are going on in Haiti. We got some stuff that's going on with Giuliani, Rudy, and we also got something that's going on with Trump as well. Trump wants to sue everybody on this planet, it looks like. But we are going to be talking about that as well here in a little bit. We got a little bit of a shorter show today, unfortunately. Excuse me. I am a very busy man as of late, and I got some things I got to take care of. So unfortunately, today's show is going to be hella short. All right. I will try to be on for a later show tonight, just so you guys know. And of course, I wanted to give you guys a heads up. There will not be a Friday morning show. I repeat, there will not be a Friday morning show. Okay. Like I said, I'm working hard out here in these streets for you guys and for this platform and all that. And unfortunately, there will not be a show in the morning. There will be, though, pop-up videos from here until going on throughout Friday as well. So just keep a heads up. You know what I mean? Keep an eye out for that stuff, okay? But anyway, I got my fellas in the house, D and T. David and T, what's good, y'all? What's a guan?
It's all good here. Like you said, got some big topics today. I guess that's what I've just been seeing. Is a lot of big topics, but not a whole lot of news, I guess. That's kind of where we are right now. But,
yes.
Got some interesting things to cover, I think, today. Yeah,
I mean, like, no big, like, huge, like, nothing like yesterday morning. Let's just say that, okay? Nothing, nowhere near as big as yesterday morning. But have mercy. Actually, David, real quick before we start with the show, can you send me another article? Is that possible? Because I do not have. You got to be subscribed into this thing.
Oh, okay, one second.
Yeah, gotta love that stuff. Unless I'm already signed in. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Yeah, nope. But if you don't mind,
sending you.
Go ahead.
I'm sending you from Voice of America, which is kind of like our America's international news.
Awesome. Please send that to me. I wanted to say good morning because I haven't gotten a chance to say good morning to my brother T. What's good, man? How you feeling, baby?
Good morning, everybody. Everybody in the chat, good morning. What's up? I'm looking for a nice weekend coming up. Hopefully I can get out and get some fun things done and not be doing so much schoolwork.
Word. I feel you on that. You know, it's time to enjoy the sun. It's time to enjoy the summer a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I feel like when it comes to summertime, things like as far as schedules and all that stuff, unless you're like on some huge network, show, things tend to change. Things tend to get a little bit more loose because, everybody's too busy trying to enjoy the outdoors now that we can go outside. so far.
Yeah, T.
You see what I'm
Have your
saying?
students actually been showing up? Or are they just skipping still? Because I hear that's a problem in a lot of places.
No, well, I'm talking about like just like my classes at the university right now. Yeah, like as far as like teaching, that's done until August, thank God. But for now, it's just I have 3 courses right now at the university, so I'm just like bogged down by like reading, researching, and doing essays.
Word.
Yeah. Always stay busy.
Word. Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. And T, I didn't know you had tattoos, bruh.
Just a couple. That's it.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
you put your hand up, and I saw the cross.
Oh yeah.
Tattoo.
Just a few. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up. I didn't know. That's all good. I mean, you know. Do you have any tattoos, David? I don't think you do. Do you?
No, I got 3. Yeah. They're all pretty big.
This is how much I know everybody.
Well, you can't see them if I'm
clothed.
shirt on. So that's kind of the point. Yeah.
Well, you know, obviously me and the rest of the, you know, I'm speaking on behalf of the rest of the fam. We all want to see you naked, so go ahead. Just let it all.
Whoa!
I'm just kidding.
Listen,
No, hold up. That's a joke. That's a joke. You like, wait a second, pause. No, it was a joke, yo. It was a joke, dag nabbit. But anyway, seriously, take your. I'm just kidding. Stop. Anyway, when it gets inappropriate very, very quickly. No. I'm just playing. Seriously.
The night show is like different. All right, the morning show has to be much more tamer than this.
It's cleaner because kids are around. You know what I mean? At least we like to think children are walking around and listening to the show. So we got to keep it somewhat PC. You know what I'm saying? But anyway. So anyway, I hopefully I'm glad you guys are doing well in the all around in the other corners of the world. You know what I'm saying? Colorado and in Philly. So I'm glad you guys are doing very well. But we got to go into our main story. You know what I mean? Let's get out of this cringy conversation. Trying to get David naked. I'm sorry. You got to keep it light a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Damn. You know what I mean? Not everything has to be doom and gloom all the time. You know what I'm saying? But we got to go into our story. Wait, David, where did you send it to?
Back in Twitter to you.
Oh, you sent it to me in Twitter?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you emailed it. Hold on, guys. I'm so sorry. We have some information that we need to know about what's going on with the assassination of Jean-Venel Moïse. I think this is well, we gotta check this out and talk about this because this is very awkward and it's kind of sus in my personal opinion. I'm just gonna say that it's a little sus. So here it is. Haitian official arrest made in assassination of Moïse. All right, so Haitian police arrested the presumed assassins of Haiti President Jovenel Moïse, a government official announced on social media late Wednesday. Now, if there's a video clip of this, I would love to see if we have one. David or T, if you can find that really quick. Because, like I said, this particular story is hella sus to me. Hella sus. Okay? All right. So, alleged assassins of Moïse intercepted by national police in Perlerin shortly after 6 p.m. tonight. All right? Communications Secretary Franz Exantus tweeted. All right? So, a manhunt ensued after the shooting death of Moïse at his private residence in a wealthy suburb of the capital, Port-au-Prince, before dawn on Wednesday. Those killers are on the loose, Haitian ambassador of the United States, Edmond, said Wednesday during a briefing with reporters covering the State Department. We are calling for an international manhunt. So Edmond said Haiti would request U.S. assistance and expertise. A stable Haiti is in the interest of the United States, he said. So Haiti's border with Dominican Republic and its airports are closed, the ambassador said. Edmonds said officials suspected that the attackers were either still in Haiti or had escaped over the border. He ruled out the possibility of an escape via air, saying it would have been virtually impossible to evade the country's air surveillance system. So, the interim Prime Minister Claude Joseph declared a state of siege and said he is now in charge of the country. Interesting. So, asked by VOA whether officials know the nationality of the gunman, Edmonds said he was unsure. But based on video footage obtained by the National Police and deemed credible, the assassins, whom he described as mercenaries, posed as agents of the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration. They are speaking English. They were speaking Spanish and presented themselves as DEA agents. As we well know, this is not the way the DEA operates. I believe they are fake DEA agents. I mean, I think we all can agree with that to a certain extent. Okay. Experts who saw the video said those are professional killers, Edmond told reporters. All right. So now I want to make abundantly clear that there was a little bit of a piece that I made a mistake on because there was a rumor that was floating around about the First Lady, Martine Moïse, saying that she was dead, that she was killed when she went to the hospital, but she apparently is still alive. She has been wounded. She was shot during the attack, but now she is apparently stable but in critical condition. The ambassador said she has been transferred to a hospital in Miami, Florida, for treatment. One of the president's children who was at the home during the attack has been taken to a secure location. Like I said, no one else was hurt except for the First Lady and the President Moïse. That's it. All right. Now, the one thing that I found very interesting, which is not we have not seen in here. This is kind of like a recap of the actual situation. They said in a video. Did you guys find a video at all of the announcement?
Yeah, I'm still looking.
Okay. So apparently they made an announcement earlier, like yesterday or earlier, late yesterday, saying that they had arrested 4 assassins, right? 4 of the alleged assassins and killed them. So they didn't arrest them and question them and take him to court. They arrested him. They arrested them and killed them, which to me makes no bloody sense at all. Okay. So there were some things I wanted to cover in that particular situation because I know what I said yesterday was what I was reading, and some of the things that were being read were not entirely accurate as far as the whether the First Lady was still alive or not. There was a lot of rumors floating around in regards to that. David.
The original video is in French, the announcement that they gave out, so I can send it to you, but I don't know what they're saying.
Okay. Well, let me just...
Yeah, I have it. I'll put it for you inside of the Skype chat.
Yeah, I got it right here.
It's also in French, but there are subtitles.
There's subtitles right here. Yes. Yeah. We have subtitles, so we can take a listen to this and see what the heck is going on here, y'all.
Haiti police have killed 4 people suspected in the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse, the police chief announced Wednesday, and 2 more have been arrested. The government has declared a 2-week state of emergency as it chases down the killers who shot Moïse dead in his home in Port-au-Prince overnight. Haiti Police Chief Leon Charles said Wednesday they had blocked the assassins as they were leaving the crime scene and had been locked in a standoff with them since. Moïse's wife Martine was also shot and severely wounded and has received medical treatment. Haiti's ambassador to the United States told Reuters the gunmen were masquerading as U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration agents, a move that would likely have helped them gain entry to Moïse's guarded residence. Interim Prime Minister Claude Joseph has called for calm across the country, the poorest nation in the Americas. Bustling streets were deserted Wednesday as vehicles transporting Moise's body to the morgue were rerouted due to gunshots and roadblocks.
Jeez.
Moise's assassination came amid calls for his resignation over corruption allegations, economic mismanagement, and his tightening grip on power. The nation of 11 million has grappled with political unrest for decades and faces a surge in gang violence and a growing humanitarian crisis. The United States, Haiti's top aid donor, was quick to condemn Moise's assassination and vowed to promote peace and security in the region. Meanwhile, the Dominican Republic closed the border it shares with Haiti in anticipation of violent unrest. The UN Security Council is set to evaluate the situation in a closed-door meeting on Thursday.
So here it is. Let's go back to the beginning of this because I want you guys to hear this one last time. Okay?
Haiti police have killed 4 people suspected in the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse, the police chief announced Wednesday, and 2 more have been arrested.
So they went ahead and killed 4 of the men that were suspected of being a part of this assassination, right? And then they arrested 2 other ones. Now, we don't know what happened with the other 2, but they already killed 4 men. 4 men. Or 4 people that were involved in it. Does that seem a little odd to you? Wouldn't you want to try as much as you can to keep them alive so you can question them, find out all the information you can get from them, and then figure out what you want to do with them after that? Right? Doesn't it seem a little odd that they found them and then suddenly, bang, they're them dead? That makes no sense. T.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. I mean, this whole situation just looks shady. It's just these things shouldn't happen, especially in any president's private home with their family and kids. That in itself is suspect. Also question why they use the DEA, term.
Right.
That's drugs. So why would security be concerned with the DEA? If they use CIA, that'd be a little bit different. In terms of capture, they said they had been on a nonstop gun battle with them, and 4 dead, 2 alive. I did read a quick phrase where I think the chief of police in Haiti was saying, we're going to take them dead or alive. Which is, I guess the dead part means that, they have to pay for what they did. But at the same time, like you said, Pascal, is information is everything. Keep them alive so you can see if their stories, are the same, or see what they're really working for. It would be easier. But I guess, it is what it is. I mean, you got 4 dead. You can't bring them back.
Right.
Unfortunately. Again, it's sketchy to me. Who were they working for? What, was it an inside job? Was it from the neighboring country? Was it from another country outside of the Caribbean? Was it someone who's going to proceed as president now? There's so many questions about what's going on here, and I think that we're going to see how this all plays out. And again, watching the actions of those who are in power now, and watching the actions of those who are trying to get justice, we'll see exactly whose hands are clean and whose hands are not.
Yeah, I agree with T here on this for the most part. I do think this is probably an inside job. I don't think it was the DEA. For sure, I don't think it was the DEA. Like they said in the article, this just isn't how the DEA operates, so it would be strange if it was them. So my thoughts are that it is probably an inside job because of how much complacency there was around him. His guards didn't defend him. It seems like other people may have known about it and just walked away. Yeah. So the DEA thing might have actually just been a code so that they knew if they claimed they were DEA to let them in, because the DEA is unlikely to ever show up. They would expect the CIA or something. So by calling out the DEA, it may have been just them announcing themselves to, walk right on past. And that would go with them killing these 4 people, 4 assassins, because they don't want anyone to know for sure what happened. And it's also possible, this occurred to me, is that they actually did possibly capture them alive, but they don't want anyone to know because they could be trying to basically torture them separately and get stories from all four of them.
True.
And then they'll figure out which stories are most true. That's a possibility as well.
Yeah, that's very good. That's a very good assumption right there too. They could sit there and go, "Yes, we killed 4 of them," just so you know they're dead, right? And then only to find out that they really have them just locked away somewhere where they're waterboarding them, torturing them beyond their own mental capacity, so that they can break. You see what I'm saying? Because obviously there's a lot of rules and regulations and stuff that apply here in America that does not exist in Haiti. Let's keep it straight funky. Haiti's government is very corrupt. We've been knowing that, right? Even before this, all right? So, like I said, it just seems weird that they go over there. The very next day they find them. And of course, that kind of story, finding the assassin, that kind of thing, or the assassins is, that quickly is not a far-fetched idea. It's not a far-fetched story. We hear these stories all the time, right? But then again, how do we know that these guys are really are the guys, right? How do we know? A lot of times, we see this in shows, movies, conversations, conspiracy theories, etc., how quickly the people want to be able to point their finger at something, right? So they'll just throw somebody's face or name or whatever in front of it saying, "Oh, it was such and such that did this horrible thing," right? But are they really giving us the truth? Are they really telling us what's really going down? So we're going to have to see what happens. Like I said, it doesn't make sense that they didn't bring in all 6 instead of just in not just 2, 6 of them. Now I get that there might be one that might, fire back, a bullet might hit them, and it might be a fatal gunshot wound, etc. I can see those things, those probabilities happening, but it just seems weird that 4 of them are dead and they arrested only 2. It just seems weird. I would want to make sure I have all of them so I can get all the stories together. But that's just me. That's just me though. The other thing, though, too, and I'll throw it over to T here in a second. The other thing, too, I noticed is that the interim prime minister said, "I'm the president now. I'm the acting president now." To me, I find that weird. To me, I find that a little odd, a little strange, personally. Seems a little sus. Just saying that. T, real quick.
Yeah, my bad, Dave. I'm wondering, since we had confirmed reports that we heard English being spoken with an American accent and also Spanish, which one of these guys are still alive? Can you confirm that one of those guys was an English-speaking or American-sounding person? So I want to get a whole, front cover report on who are the assailants, what's their backgrounds, what's their passports, where did they come from, etc.
Facts. I want everything from the rooter to the tutor, all of it. David.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with that. We need to know more about who these people are before we can really say a whole lot of things. But my guess, and this is just a guess, is that I do believe it's an inside job. I'm fairly certain of that, but I think that it's most likely performed by some sort of presidential potential, because we did discuss that he was not allowing elections and he was not standing down. So my guess is, and there aren't strong democratic institutions there to kind of produce their own assassins, I guess. So my guess is that it's someone who's a potential president, possibly the interim, what's his name, Claude something, or maybe one of the people, because I don't know who the popular politicians are there, but it could be somebody that is expected to become a president, and they could be behind us as well, especially with, as you mentioned, how corrupt it's been in the past, and specifically with this president overstaying his legally allowed time in office, which would suggest that he's probably going to try and keep power and keep any other one from rising to the station of president.
Yeah, I think that this is definitely I think without a shadow of a doubt, this is most definitely an inside job. And of course, this might be a very uneducated question to throw out, but I'm going to throw it out anyway. Who in their right mind would want to go and try to, outside of Haiti, let's just say, outside of the country of Haiti, who in their right mind would want to go out of their way to assassinate the president of that country? To me, that makes no sense. It's, like I said, who would want to... The car that they're driving needs a lot of work, right? So who would carjack a dude who's driving a car that's broken down and messed up? Who? No offense, not trying to knock Haiti because I love my country. That's my country, but it is jacked up. It's completely corrupt and messed up. You have people fleeing the country every single day, floating on tires in the middle of the ocean, trying to find refuge in other countries. Who in their right mind would go out of their way to assassinate the president outside of that country if they have no connections within the country? I'm just gonna leave that little question out there for everyone to think about, and put that in your pipe and smoke on it for a little bit. Ponder on that for a minute. Who? You see what I'm saying? I would understand like other places that are running like a Rolls Royce. Come on, baby, let's go. But Haiti of all places? Come on, y'all. See what I'm saying? Just to me, doesn't make any sense. Like I said, I love my country, but like I said, it is jacked up. This is an inside mother-loving job, and this is not from the people. This is not the people doing it. You see what I'm saying? If they brought in mercenaries, like I said, if it's mercenaries aren't cheap. It's not the people of Haiti. It's the government within Haiti that's involved in this. David.
I was going to say that there was one thing I mentioned in chat yesterday, but I didn't say it out loud, is that basically in 2022, the president, Moise, was supposed to receive a new shipment of ships to create the Haitian Navy, because Haiti doesn't really have a Navy. They basically have a Coast Guard that they call a Navy, to be honest. They're just a bunch of boats. They don't actually have any large ships like we do. And he was setting up deals for to have ships delivered from Russia, China, and South Korea in 2022, which would have given Haiti a considerable navy, at least compared to some of the other Caribbean nations. So that is also a possibility, but I don't know how contentious those deals were within Haiti or anything.
Yeah, like I said, it's just when you do the math, it don't add up when it comes to other outside sources being involved. T.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was going to say, like, think about this. If they contacted foreign mercenaries, which seems like at least some of them were, what's the escape plan? If you're going to cross the border to the Dominican Republic, you have to do that really quickly and have somebody with you that's Spanish speaking, which seems like they had, and then hop on a flight from there. But they'll pay heat back on the neighboring country as well, which I'm pretty sure they don't want. And then, or they had boats, which you can sell out to, I guess, Cuba's right there, and also Puerto Rico. But again, it's
any of the islands actually.
Right. What was the game plan? Because it had to be somebody, like you said, probably within the country, where maybe they had like a safe house or a hideout. But maybe or maybe the whole plan was this, to have them get caught. Maybe the mercenaries thought, all right, you get paid half now, half when it's done. But I guess the person who's in charge of this actual assassination said, listen, make sure they don't come back alive. So maybe the whole goal was to have them take care of the job and then be killed before they were actually allowed to escape or get paid.
Exactly. I think this whole particular situation, I think, is very weird, unless it's a bunch of rebels that were involved and they have some sort of, some of these guys are tactical, or they learn to speak with an American accent when they talk in English. I don't know. But to me, that's a far-fetched idea. You see what I'm saying? Because if it was rebels, if it was the people that were trying to take over the president and assassinate President Moise, then I would see. You see what I'm saying? Then we would be hearing stories about that. We would hear the people rising and taking over his private home, his private residence. But that's not the case. This whole situation is very crazy. Very, very crazy. But you can definitely say, as much as we look at it, it is most definitely an inside job. And hopefully we will get the truth. I don't know if we will, to be really honest. I mean, 4 of the guys are dead. 2 of them are still alive. So we'll see how much truth will actually come out in regards to this particular case. It's very messed up, and we're going to have to wait and see what happens as the stories develop here. But we got to go into our next story. Rudy Giuliani. We've been hearing about Rudy Giuliani here and there, in and out. This conversation's been in and out like a mug, right? But right now, he is officially suspended from practicing law. David's got the story. What's good, man? What's the story with this? What's up?
All right, so this is something a lot of us might have been expecting for a while, because if you recall, he did have a lot of issues when he was basically trying to defend Trump. And a lot of people at that point were looking to get rid of his ability to practice law at that point. However, it's taken some time for it all to go through, basically. Let's see. We have, he was just suspended by Washington, D.C., an appeals court in Washington, D.C., that he will not be able to practice law until his situation in New York is resolved. So basically, right now, he's on suspension, I guess is a better way to put it, than completely barred from practicing law. However, for the most part, they're just they are silencing him. There's no question about that. Like, he is being removed right now from the ability to practice law, even if they're calling it a temporary suspension. I don't think they'll give that ability back either, because it basically sounds like they are waiting for basically all of the states that have an issue with him to go through his trials. The New York Appellate Court suspended his law license in that state, and it said that there is uncontroverted evidence that Giuliani communicated demonstrably false and misleading statements to courts, lawmakers, and the public at large in his capacity as a lawyer for former President Donald J. Trump and the Trump campaign in connection with Trump's failed effort at re-election in 2020. The court also says that Giuliani's conduct immediately threatens the public interest and warrants interim suspension from the practice of law. So Giuliani himself told Newsmax that I made all those statements. Not a single one of them led to a protest, a riot, an incident, or anything. He goes on to say, obviously, those statements do not have the impact of creating danger. However, the appellate court also wrote that false statements were made to improperly bolster respondents' narrative that due to widespread voter fraud, victory in the 2020 United States election was stolen from this client. And so basically that's what they're suspending him for in New York right now. And they also have the potential that he'll be barred from California as well. So the permanent nature of this largely depends on the outcome of the investigation in New York State. So once that investigation goes through, they will either make this permanent, which I think seems most likely, or they'll give him his ability to practice law back. I don't think that's going to be the case, because some of these judges were one of the ones that originally signed the documents saying that Giuliani was not practicing law correctly and that his kind of PR aspect was not obeying how you're supposed to perform law as a lawyer. And so based on that, those large amount of judges and lawyers from this region and all regions throughout the U.S. writing that, I do not think he will be getting back his ability to practice court. However, Giuliani did tell the court that he would exercise personal discipline and refrain from making any further statements about the election as a lawyer. However, it's too late, basically. He's been doing this for quite a while. So that's why he's barred. And based on what the judges who provided the temporary loss of license said, he's going to lose it permanently there. That's what's expected to happen at this point.
You know, it's interesting because there was a time, there was a time that he was highly revered, highly respected. I just saw somebody say something. It was the Pioneer said something that was very true. During the whole situation with 9/11, he gained so much respect for how he was able to bring New York City back up, right? To bring the city back up on its feet after that devastating 9/11. Like, it was just, like they say, never forget, and he did an amazing job. I'm going to be real. He did an amazing job for making everyone feel like New York City is resilient and can persevere through this time. And then suddenly he starts sweating dye and losing his mind on cameras, saying crazy things, speaking out of turn, saying one thing and then saying the opposite thing that he just said a second ago in the same breath. There's many, many videos where he's been on Fox, CNN, etc., doing interviews, etc. Barat, or what's his name? I'm forgetting his name now. The actor that plays Barat. Very nice. How much? Why am I forgetting his name? Sacha Baron Cohen. Like all that stuff, all these embarrassing moments have tarnished his legacy that he left, that he built. He destroyed his entire legacy. And I think a lot of people feel some type of way about him, of course, not only the ridiculousness and the things that came out of his mouth, but on top of that, who he was representing, who he was behind 100%. I'm not surprised about this whole situation. I really am not surprised about this. It's kind of like it's about damn time. It took long enough, but like I said, it's like, man, how the mighty have fallen, and his legacy is just keeps going straight down the toilet drain, and it's sad. T, thoughts?
I don't know, man. I was never really a fan of the guy, and I guess the last decade or so, like you just mentioned, we've seen his whatever legacy that he's built for himself, this diminish, itself, yearly, affiliate himself with Donald Trump and, their secret, laundry list of things they should have been doing, and I don't know. It's just, I'm happy that what's done in the dark is coming to light, and that he is going to be penalized for his actions, and it seems like him and Trump always like pointing the finger at other culprits, but now it's back at you now. So you're not perfect yourself, and all of your dirt is now out for us to see. And him losing his license to practice law in NYC and also Washington, D.C., he deserves it. So hopefully the rest of the corruption can be brought down as well.
Yeah. David?
Yeah, I agree with him. And from what I've seen, he should lose his ability to practice law. I wouldn't be surprised if after this, I don't know all the places he has practiced law, so that is one aspect. But I expect him to be barred from most places after this. It's unlikely that he will be able to practice law in other states if New York and Washington, D.C. both say he is not able to practice law. I think most states will adopt that immediately if he doesn't just outright get disbarred from the community itself, which is a possibility. They had been talking about it before, and some of the judges, I don't know if this judge was involved, but some judges did push for his disbarment while he was basically, I guess, defending Trump, if you want to say that, when he was going over all the election stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. He should be gone. He shouldn't be practicing law, and I think that's the direction it's going to end up at.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he should be either. I mean, obviously, with what I already have said right after you read the article, I just think that it's a sad situation Like, you know, it's watching a man go senile, you know? And let me just say this really quick. What he did with New York City to begin with, there's a lot of people that don't agree or don't like with what he did with New York City as far as like the other stuff, the stop and frisks, the et cetera. And he was a part of all that stuff during that time too. So he's been under fire for a lot of different things like that as well. Basically turning Broadway, you know, 42nd Times Square into a freaking Disney attraction, like a Disney theme park attraction for the most part. Some people are like, hey, they literally whitewashed New York City. New York City, or at least Times Square, is not what Times Square used to be. But it is also a thing of there was a lot of crime, a lot of various types of crime that was happening in Times Square during a time. Times Square was very dangerous after a certain hour. Very, very dangerous. And he cleaned that up to a certain extent. People have a big problem with that, which I totally understand. But when it came to 9/11, he came through. He came through. And he made everybody feel like things were possible. I will give him that, right? But then, like I said, he goes into working for Trump, and then everything goes down. Everything's going down in the hell in a handbasket, okay? So here it is. I'm glad he's not that they're stopping him from practicing law. He has no place to be there. A lot of times he comes off like a senile old man, and that's sad. You know, he's that uncle or that grandpa. You're like, oh, grandpa, you know, stop talking. You know what I mean? He means well. He means well. You know what I mean? You know, Paw means well. Grandpa, stop. You know what I mean? A lot of that. So it's about that time that they remove it. He's done his job. Let this old dog rest. You see what I'm saying? Let him rest. Okay? We done. We done with that. You know? But anyway, we got to go into a quick commercial break. Very, very quick commercial break. But when we come back, we got news from around the world, a short briefing on that. And then, of course, we got this whole topic about Trump suing everybody. Everybody. Okay? We'll be right back. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.
This is Michael with Wildlife Command Center. Let me tell you a little bit about Wildlife Command Center's extraordinary cash quest. There's $10,000 up for grabs. 12 of these boxes, with $100 in each one, are hidden around the St. Louis area. You find 10, you qualify for the $10,000 grand prize. You get to keep the $100. So, get out there and look and find the treasure in Wildlife Command Center's extraordinary cash quest.
You love peace and wellness for the holidays. Don't cancel them. Prepare STL. Decorate. Make it as normal as you can, but slow the spread of COVID. Wear a mask. Wash your hands. Watch your distance. Prepare STL, helping St. Louisans of color prepare and prevail.
But you see how he makes these S's in his body right here? That's where he's hanging on, and then he's moving forward with the locomotion of his ribs. That is classic Missouri rat snake right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab him before he gets into a hole. Now, these snakes are not biters. They won't bite as long as you don't squeeze them. If you just stop them like this, it'll freeze them, and then you just gently pull them back. As long as you don't squeeze them, they won't bite.
Yo, Mike, what's up, man?
Guy? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, so Sugar Fire.
Yeah.
Fully open, right?
Yeah, we're pretty much open. So you can't sit inside yet. Monday you can sit inside a little bit. We'll have 25% of the tables inside, and then we're letting it rip outside.
So I know that there's a lot of people really concerned about staying safe and all of that.
No,
so what are you guys doing in regards to that?
Well, and we have extra people to clean and rub everything down all the time. Everybody inside's wearing masks. And we have little stickers on the ground so everyone can stay 6 feet apart.
Right on.
The tables are all spaced out, inside and outside.
Sugar Fire, open in full effect right now. They're staying healthy. They're staying clean. Go get you a rack of ribs. Sugar Fire, open right now. Thanks. Hey, welcome back, guys. Thank you guys so much for sticking around and being a part of the conversation. If this is your first time checking out this show, please go hit that like button down below. Don't forget to crush that subscribe button. I do this show Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, and I do a Tuesday through Thursday evening show at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So please go crush that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that like button. Send those likes all the way up, and most definitely crush that join button. $4.99 a month helps fuel our show so we can keep giving you your stories of the day. Anyway, we got to get going into our next piece. We got some international stuff that's going on in the world. David's got the story. What's going on, man?
All right, so got a few stories here, like you said. The first one we're going to do is this one's kind of interesting. It's sad, but due to climate change, dragonflies are losing their ability to shine and fly, and soon large swaths of them may go extinct. So unfortunately, a study was conducted by the Washington University in St. Louis, and they created a database of 319 dragonfly species, and they have been pretty much shown throughout that according to the university, our study shows that wing pigmentation of dragonfly males evolves so consistently in response to the climate that it's the most predictable evolutionary response ever observed for a mating-related trait. So it is also expected that this may actually damage their ability to fly down the line and cause some of them to be endangered, at least, but it's still a little too early to be sure about it. But we are positive at this point that the change in the climate is changing the way they fly and their very substance of their wings. All right, so in China, they have just created a new plan, or researchers have developed a new plan for the future, and basically what they want is that within Beijing, they want to store 20 of China's largest rockets in space so that they can practice turning away huge asteroids. There is generally an international agreement that space isn't supposed to be weaponized to be used on Earth. However, there is also a general consensus that missiles to intercept asteroids is probably what the future is going to be. And that's kind of what the Chinese researchers are proposing here. Their entire plan is for these rockets to be in space, and if any Armageddon type, as they call them, asteroids come to the planet, we'll be able to break them apart so that they'll burn up in the atmosphere instead of causing large explosions. We've seen a few of the explosions, like when they leveled the forest in northern Russia and things like that. And you even saw an airburst, I think it was also in Russia just last year, that leveled a bunch of buildings. So as humanity begins to cover more and more of the Earth, it is expected we have more and more problems with asteroids striking populated regions. So, and this is exactly why they are doing this. The professor also goes on to say that there's only about 1% chance to notice an asteroid in time without the missile system. So this is basically the lowest risk way of dealing with asteroids and intercepting them with nuclear explosions. All right, so Russia, and this is from the Russian state news, but they are saying that military attacks in Syria violated national law, and they are referring to Biden strikes in Syria not too long ago. But right now, they are discussing Israel, which they also condemned as of the evening of the 7th. They say that we condemn Israel's continuous military attacks in Syria, which violate international law, international humanitarian law, and the sovereignty of Syria and neighboring country. The three nations were meeting in Kazakhstan's capital for the 16th round of the process talks, which have been held since 2017 with the aim of finding a solution to end the conflict in Syria. Russia's special envoy to Syria, Alexander Lavrentiev, said that ahead of the meeting, the political process in Syria will be handled comprehensively, highlighting the work being conducted by Syrian Constitutional Committee to reach stability and develop its economy. Also, Russia has been building up forces within those regions of Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, and Kazakhstan. which are close to Syria. We just mentioned this yesterday, but Russia is expecting to have to take a major role within those northern nations to maintain Syria to protect our allies, basically. And lastly for today, we've been talking about this a little bit. Previously, I mentioned that in Tokyo, they haven't had any major restrictions leading up to this other than an 8 p.m. curfew, leading up to the Olympics, I mean. However, there is a new spike right now, and they expect it to get worse if foreigners keep coming in to prepare and visit the Olympics. So right now, for the first time in Tokyo, you are not allowed to go to bars, and certain restaurants are being closed. The committee in Tokyo and Okinawa as well is asking people not only to stop drinking at 10 p.m., but that no events be over 5,000 or 50% of venue capacity. They are also currently discussing if there will be allowed any sort of foot traffic or in-person audience at the Olympics. They haven't completely decided yet, but they're saying that if foot traffic increases, Tokyo may not be able to handle that because of the current spike. So right now there's a very strong chance, and it hasn't been decided yet, but there's still a very strong chance that there will not be any audience at the Tokyo Games. It all may just be done online, like some of the earlier football games were in the U.S. And that's our news for the day across the world.
Thank you, David. I mean, real quick, I do find that really crazy that there wouldn't be that there wouldn't be there could possibly be no attendance at the games, at the Olympic Games. I find that kind of wild. You see what I'm saying? I feel like, man, maybe there's a way that they can, do temp checks and do a bunch of tests. You feel me? We can't really say the words on here, but you see what I'm saying? Making sure people got the poke or not. You know what I mean? I hate to say that. I mean, I know that there's a lot of stuff going around right now talking about making sure people are up to date, if you see what I'm saying. Even in this country. And it's making people feel some type of way. It's very a polarizing thing, but still for people to be able to attend the Olympics, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's something that I feel like Tokyo would really appreciate. That's more jobs, that's more money, etc. for a lot of vendors and a lot of businesses over there. And so that's a crappy situation for them to not have if that's removed. You know what I mean? If that element of it is removed, that's terrible. So, yeah, David, thank you so much for the information. Appreciate it.
Hey, welcome, man.
All right, but we of course we got to go into one of our final stories of the day. And this one is, I found to be I find it very interesting, to be straight funky, because here it is. As we have been, it's been a topic that's been going on. Trump's suing everybody. Trump got cases on everybody, man. He getting his Denzel on right now. Pretty much, he getting his training day on, and sorry. And the funny thing is we definitely got to talk about it, because this is some wild stuff. T's got the story, and we do have a clip. We're gonna show that to you guys here in a second. But T's got the story. What's going on, man?
Hey, Trump is having another tantrum. So Trump files a class action lawsuit against Facebook, Twitter, and Google for censoring him. He demands an end to big tech silencing and blacklisting of conservative voices and calls for punitive damages for all cancel culture victims. All right. Here we go. Trump launched a legal battle against social media giants at his Bedminster Club. He demanded punitive damages up to trillions of dollars from Facebook, Twitter, and Google. Former president is still banned from platforms because of his Capitol riot posts. He said his removal from the platform showed that big tech was out of control. Well, unlike him, I guess, right? Trump claimed posts that got him banned were inconspicuous, while terror groups Hamas still have websites. His lawyers said that platforms acted as government agents and were subject to free speech protections. His move is backed by the America First Policy Institute, which is made up of Trump administration staff. And they also are going to allow him to sue Zuckerberg and Dorsey on his behalf because he was silenced. Ex-White House official Brooke Rollins said elites saw the First Amendment rights as being an obstacle towards his ambitious lawsuit. To continue, they mentioned that him being shadow banned and blacklisting should be illegal, and that he wants to take down the social media giants over his rights to free speech.
Yes. You know what? And we do have a clip from him saying what he's saying. Like I said, he's getting his training day on. I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh. It's just this is just a very interesting situation. So we got a clip. Let's take a look at what he's saying. And
today, in conjunction with the America First Policy Institute, I'm filing as the lead class representative a major class action lawsuit against the big tech giants, including Facebook, Google, and Twitter, as well as their CEOs, Mark Zuckerberg, Sundar Pichai, and Jack Dorsey. 3 real nice guys. We're asking the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Florida to order an immediate halt to social media companies' illegal, shameful censorship of the American people, and that's exactly what they are doing. We're demanding an end to the shadow banning, a stop to the silencing, and a stop to the blacklisting, banishing, and canceling that you know so well. Our case will prove this censorship is unlawful, it's unconstitutional, and it's completely un-American. We all know that. We all know that very, very well. Our filing also seeks injunctive relief to allow prompt restitution and really restoration, and you can name about 20 other things, and it has to be prompt because it's destroying our country. Of my accounts, in addition, we are asking the court to impose punitive damages on these social media giants. We're going to hold big tech very accountable. This is the first of numerous other lawsuits, I assume, that would follow, but this is the lead, and I think it's going to be a very, very important game changer for our country. It will be a pivotal battle in the defense of the First Amendment, and in the end, I am confident that we will achieve a historic victory for American freedom and, at the same time, freedom of speech.
so there it is, y'all, in all of its glory. Trump is suing everybody. And he's saying that he's going, hey, what I'm doing is groundbreaking. What I'm about to do, I'm suing everybody, suing trillions of dollars. This is going to change the way we look at America. We're going to bring back and honor the First Amendment, our constitutional rights, etc. Well, interesting. I think it's very interesting. Here it is. And I've said this a million times before, because I'm not going to sit here and say that he doesn't have a right to be on these platforms. Now, not back in the day, okay? But now I feel like, I'm going to be honest, I feel like they should let him out and let him do his thing under a very, very tight microscope, right? A very, very big microscope. They watch every single thing that he does. Now, I know that sucks. I know that's extra work etc. But that's what these bots and these, AIs and all that stuff that are floating around throughout all these platforms exist. This is why these things exist. For people like that could potentially cause an uproar, to keep an eye on those that could cause an uproar. That's what I think. Now, because I see a lot of other things that are going on. This has happened to us a million times. This has happened to this channel a billion times. And I hate it more than anything in the world. And so for me, when I look at what's gone on with me on multiple occasions, and I look at people like other platforms like Crowder, I see other platforms that aren't even doing anything that's controversial or newsworthy at all. They're just talking about baking cakes, for crying out loud. And suddenly they're getting slammed, or they're getting banned, or they're getting strikes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So when it comes to this particular situation, I go, well, how can I sit here and say, yeah, take them all off, when I complain about the same thing? Now, I'm not trying to cause an upheaval. I'm not trying to have something happen like January. You see what I'm saying? I'm not trying to get people angry. I'm just starting conversations and talking about the news. I feel like there's certain things that need to be watched when it comes to him. And if they were to let him in, and I'll say this too real quick, if they were to let him in and they put him within the certain guidelines, I mean, shoot, we hear this all the time. There's so many other people, so many other channels. And yes, I do agree about Crowder. I think Crowder is the R word for sure. He is terrible. But when these other platforms, because I know so many other guys that have been either shadow banned or they have been restricted to a certain amount of time. They're not even allowed to do a certain amount of time on the platform. Why can't they just implement the same thing with him? Keep him on a tight, very tight leash and just let it go. But that's the thing. I mean, obviously, I'm going to open up the conversation. Like I said, I am not on his side at all when it comes to how he does, what he's done recently with what happened in the 6th and everything. I do feel that he is incredibly responsible for that. All the lawsuits and indictments that are coming towards him, etc., that they're looking into his organization, etc. He deserves every last bit of it. But for him not to be able to go on Twitter and just tweet 150 characters, I do think it's a little unfair. And I think he needs to, I think he should be brought back in, but within certain very strict guidelines specifically tailored for his ass. I'm going to open up to the guys because I would like to hear their thoughts on this. T, it sounded like you were ready to jump in. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I said this back when he was first banned, that it would be a problem for everybody, because once they set a precedent of banning someone on his level, then everybody else, that's not on his level, as far as, I guess, he's the president, we open to the same consequences. So unfortunately, it's a suppression of someone's right to express themselves freely. But again, within a private company, we all have to follow the code of conduct, I would say, and we all have to be mindful of what we are saying. But as far as like just banning people right out, it's tough. There should be a tiered system where, for everybody generally, where there should be certain violations that equal certain consequences. It shouldn't be a straight ban. But for someone like Trump, who has already violated, the platform's regulations, and he's also sparked some civil unrest, then he definitely does need to have the extra surveillance going his way going forward if he's allowed to go back and publicly post things. No one should be allowed to initiate or instigate any kind of public civil unrest that could be harmful to people who are innocent.
David?
Yeah, I mostly agree with T here. Well, I agree with both of you, really. But so this is an interesting one, too, because he's doing a class action lawsuit. It's not just a personal lawsuit, so he's unlikely to get a lot of money from this. And it does actually, because some people were saying that why is he only doing something that covers him? Well, a class action lawsuit, anybody that wants to join it can do so. So it does technically represent anyone who wants to be involved. If you've like been involved with some sort of class action lawsuit before, they will usually send you a letter telling you that you're able to join in on this and get a percentage of the profit and everything. So there is that. As far as when he was president, I don't think they should have been banning him. Now that he's not, I guess it's more up to them. Though I do agree that the degree of censorship is both generally anti-intellectual and just silencing people that don't need to be silenced. So I do think that in the future we will see more and more places kind of do what Trump wants here, and that where they will be kind of treated as more of a public forum or something like that, where what they have is kind of like either protected or handled in some different way. Because we are seeing, especially with Twitter, they're kind of getting banned all over the place. I mean, they've always been banned in China, but I mean, lately they've been banned in India, Malaysia, some African states, and I think even one South American state. I forget which one. But basically, in some of these places, like in Africa, they weren't allowing the president to tweet out to his people, so those countries have banned them. India banned them because they claim that basically India says they need to be responsible for their content if they're going to moderate it the way they are. So basically, it either needs to be an open forum, or Twitter needs to be held liable for what people are using it for, such as that attack, because that was largely organized on Twitter. They would have been held responsible for that for the 6th if this law was in place in America. So I do expect this to spread more and more, because we're seeing it in Central Asia, Central Africa, and some part of South America as well. Mostly on Twitter so far, but Facebook has been targeted by a lot of international places as well for providing both false information and censoring places so that it's not an open source of information. And a lot of countries seem to think they should be liable or they should be responsible for their content if they're going to moderate their content. Unfortunately, Twitter's not willing to do that. That's why they're banned in a lot of places right now. So like, for instance, in India, since they will continue to ban people and they won't have an official agent there from the government to kind of hold them responsible for what they are and are not deciding to ban, they're not allowed to operate there. And I think this is what we'll continue to see. Europe and America are probably one of the last places to kind of change on Twitter and that, because these are American corporations, and these corporations make a ton of money and provide a ton of information for America. The government has often gone through social media to get information on people that would otherwise be private. So yeah, I don't know if the U.S. I don't know if Trump's class action lawsuit here will be successful, but I do expect within the future we will see something very similar get pushed through. So much of the world is tired of this kind of, they see it as as America trying to influence their elections. We see it as a corporation trying to influence our elections. But ultimately, most of the world seems to agree that if they're going to be banning people, they need to be responsible for what they don't ban. And they're unwilling to do that.
Yeah, it's funny because, I'm reading people's comments and everything. First off, I want to say shout out to the Pioneer. Thank you so much for your wonderful words about these two gentlemen that work with me pretty much every single day as of so far, or at least during this summer. So real quick, before I continue the conversation, I just wanted to say a big shout out to T and David here, because he's saying some really nice things about y'all. He was just saying you guys bring in just the right amount of energy to the show. You guys come in calm, mellow, informative, etc. He said they just seem like just the right balance for the job. They balance out your energy. So I just wanted to say big thank you to the Pioneer for that wonderful compliment real quick. Go ahead, T. Go ahead.
Just thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, man. It's just facts. I'm gonna give the credit where credit is due, especially when somebody else is giving you guys a shout out. I don't want that to be missed. So thank you so much for the love, man. I really do appreciate that. But I'll say this, because when it comes to this whole situation, all right, when it comes to all this that's going on right now, I got to be real. Tim Ingram on Facebook is saying, "Hey, why aren't they going after other people?" Hold on, let me get this. Let me get the quote really quick. He said it a while back. I just don't want to say it wrong. Like Maxine Waters, etc. You know what I mean? Who has been, why hasn't Maxine Waters been censored for the filth? This is what he said. For the filth that comes out of her mouth, she has called for far more violence than anyone. I don't agree with that. But then at the same time, I see what you're trying to say, though, right? But here's the thing. When it comes to somebody like President Trump, okay, former President Trump, you have somebody who has one of the largest platforms in the world. Had. Still does, though. Just remember, still does. There's a whole bunch of Trump-lights out there that are trying to mimic him, like MTG, perfect example. Gates, who hopefully is going to will be taken down here very, very soon because of all the trafficking apparently he's been involved in. But that's another conversation in itself. You got all these people out here, okay, that are trying to mimic him exactly almost to the T, maybe a little bit more extreme. But he has set the ground rules. He has set the vibe for the past 4 years, and he's still doing it even to this day right now. All right? Now, when it comes to this Maxine Waters or any other elected official that has been speaking their mind, here it is. They have said a few things here and there, but they have not started full-on group discussions or chat rooms where people are planning things out, or full-on Lego replicas of the grounds of the Capitol and saying how they're going to infiltrate. Somebody like Maxine Waters or any of these other people that have on the left that have said anything in regards to, we're not going to take it, etc. We're gonna stand. We're gonna fight for this, etc. They have not gone around and been, hey guys, let's form a group and let's start doing all this crazy chaos. Let's bring violence to the elected officials. Let's bring violence to the Capitol. There's a huge difference between the between the two situations here. Okay? Now, if they do implement certain guidelines and certain rules within these social media platforms, then I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they ban her for a day or something like that, or ban her for a couple days. I wouldn't be surprised, because then they would sit there and go, wait, this is implementing or this is advocating for some sort of violence. We do not condone that, so therefore you're getting slapped. Okay? I get that if that's what they're going to do. But I understand, I understand him being banned for as long as he has been banned because of what happened in January, because of the craziness and the chaos that he caused out here in the American streets. And because also on top of that, there's still people out here. There's still people out here that still listen and follow everything he says. As soon as they see him on TV, they're taking a breath of fresh air and go, thank you, Jesus. He's back. Everything's okay. Everything's coming up roses. Seriously. He has not come back and said, hey, I take back, or I apologize for those things that did happen, so on and so forth. He has not taken any responsibility for any of those things. So for me, if a man is not going to take responsibility for his things, for his actions, then I understand why. I understand why he's still kind of locked up and not being allowed to talk. But I truly do feel that he should come back. He should be able to get access to certain things on a very, like I said, a very, very tight leash. Very tight leash. Now, when it comes to Maxine Waters and the things that she said, Tim Ingram just said, it just disappeared. Hold on. He said, so people started, because she said certain things on like being asked things during protests and all that stuff. So then Tim Ingram saying, so people started going to restaurants and harassing whites. Now, here's the thing. Those things were happening way before Maxine Waters even went onto a microphone or went to her Twitter and put out 150 characters on her Twitter. Way before that. So she didn't cause that. When it comes to Trump, the things that happened in January happened immediately after he spoke. Immediately. There's a difference. There is a difference. I've been covering. You can go back to all my videos. Go all the way back. About a year ago, I was covering BLM, quote unquote, or Antifa harassing restaurant patrons on the patio, losing their minds, acting a damn fool. That was way before Maxine even talked. Way before that stuff. So it's a little bit of a stretch. I appreciate the comments, but at the same time, it's not entirely correct. Okay? And I feel like that is, here it is. She still said it, Pascal, and supported it, man. Here it is. Sometimes, like when it comes to that, she's just basically saying we need to have our voices heard and that we should not back down because this is ridiculous. That's not her saying we're going to storm the Capitol. We're going to do all this stuff because, this is what happened. They're lying to us. No, not at all. So she's encouraging getting our voices heard, getting out there. And she said that once or twice or whatever. I don't know how many times she has said it. But the things that were going on, the unrest that was going on was already happening, like I said, before she even got onto a microphone or went onto Twitter. This was seconds. This was minutes after he spoke. Minutes. They went right up. I mean, not even minutes. It was like as soon as they got done, he walked right up they all walked right down the street and started acting the damn fool. So it was seconds. So for me, I don't feel that the Maxine Waters comparison is accurate or even fair. You got somebody who has been in the White House for 4 years, has been using his platform to spill out venomous lies, planting seeds of lies into people's ears and letting that grow and grow and grow over years and years and years. Maxine Waters talks one time and next thing you know, everyone wants to throw her under the bus because she said something because she was angry and she wanted people to hear it. That's trash, man. No offense, but that's trash. And for anyone else who wants to sit there and say that stuff, it's trash because it's not true. You got somebody who has been doing this for 4 years straight. Come on, y'all. We all need to wake up. We all need to wake up. And not once, and this is what's messed up. I'm sitting here going, hey, let him get on there. Put him on a tight leash, though. Because at the same time, I'm not a hypocrite. You know what I'm saying? I am not a hypocrite. Because I've been shut down, told to shut up because I've said certain just words. Words. And yet I've been thrown under the bus for saying things. So why would I be hypocritical to sit there and turn to and say that he cannot go and speak? That would be hypocritical for me because I know what it feels like to be banished. Literally, to be banned, to not be able to speak. It sucks and it's frustrating. Imagine doing that for, I don't know how long it's been now for him. Well over, it's been like 6 months. That sucks. So for me, I'm like, all right, don't get me wrong. I don't want, I could go a life without Trump on Twitter. I mean, but I know the principle of it. Like Crowder. I do not like that guy. I am not a fan of Crowder. I think he's the R word like a mother lover. But at the same time, I do understand his pain. So if I was to sit here and go, oh no, he's not allowed, don't let him speak, that'd be hypocritical. Because he does have his own rights. He has a right to speak. But like I said, These are private, and we've talked about this multiple times before, but it is a private, each company is a private owned company. They can do whatever the hell they want. This is not a state or a country owned app. If this was if the country ran this app, then yes, I totally understand him getting angry and sitting there going freedom of speech and all that. But that's not what the situation is here. If he wants to sue these guys, I would love to see him. I would love to see how it works. I don't think he's going to be successful, but he can sure as hell try. Shoot, Crowder's trying, allegedly. He's trying as well. Maybe it'll wake some of these apps up and realize, hey, maybe we need to loosen up these rules and guidelines, or maybe whenever somebody gets hit with something, we don't use a bot. We actually use human beings for them to actually watch that. You know what I'm saying? But, like I said, we'll see how that lawsuit turns out. You know what I mean? Kiki5 said this. I hate to say it, Pascal, but just like everyone doesn't need to sing, not everyone needs a platform. I get it. I fully get it. But you can't tell somebody that they you can't tell somebody that they can't express themselves on a platform because they're just not good at singing. Just saying. Shoot, even William Hung made some money. She bang. Shoot. He can't sing. He made money. What about the other guy? The guy who can't sing, Fish. It's like a fish guy or whatever. You know who I'm talking about. Oh, no. Okay, now it's a little bit of a left turn, but we going there. What's his name? It's like Fish singing. I forgot his name. It's like, yes, I found him. Ice JJ Fish, for example. I'm only going to play 2 seconds of this because, copyrights and stuff. But just so you know, people are still enjoying this dude. Real talk. This dude, some people are still... I'm just saying. Some people are still enjoying hearing him sing. I'm going to show you his face so you guys can remember. You'll be like, oh, that dude. That dude. Hold on. Left turn, I know, but just bear with me. This dude right here. There's nothing else better on this world. The more I've seen, Okay, we're done. See what I'm saying? Hey, JJ Fish is making some money. Or at least he was in the very beginning. And he's terrible. He's terrible. He's so bad. But still, people live. He's terrible. Okay? But hey, he's still got a platform to express himself. You see what I'm saying? Letting it all out. So when it comes to this kind of situation, like I said, even the worst deserve a platform to express themselves. But within this whole situation with Trump, I really do truly feel that they should just let it go, let him have the platform, but keep him on a very, very, very tight leash. And I think everybody will be happy. But if he starts spitting out rhetoric and he says, oh, we're going to start our own party and it's going to be called some extreme right-winged, like white supremacist type of crap, chuck up the deuces and cut him loose. That's it. As soon as he starts doing crazy stuff, bye-bye. Don't sleep on him. You can't sleep on Trump. So that's it. You know what I'm saying? Tim Ingram just literally said when I played that song, he said, my dog just turned her head sideways. Kind of like, the heck is that? What is that? But you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying, though. Okay? So, it is what it is. We'll see if he's successful with his lawsuit. I don't think he's going to be successful at all. I think it's going to be a waste of time for him. But hey, it's done. Go ahead, what?
I was going to say that at this point, it probably doesn't matter as much. He's pretty consolidated on Gab now, and it seems like the vast majority of people that will listen to him are already subscribed to that. So mostly what's happening from this is that all the people that are listening to him are getting the information, but the people that want to keep an eye out in case there are any problems, we're not hearing about it unless you like go out of your way to look for it. So I mean, he's still organizing. He's still doing the exact same things he is before. You're just not seeing it, and you're not seeing it because it's more hidden from you now. And that doesn't mean it's going to stop. Those things are going to come back, but the degree of censorship and the sources he has that are open basically mean that the 6 can still happen just as easily. Just no one in the world will know about it next time to prepare for it. I mean, they didn't prepare for it as it was, but they knew about it. They knew it was coming, and they knew to prepare. They just chose not to. But now we might even hide that information. So, I mean, if you go through all the other sources he's connected with, you can start getting an idea of what he's talking about lately. But it is being hidden from the majority of people, just not his followers, because he's still got he's got millions of followers on there and everything. So the people that already agree with him and listen to him are still right there listening to him and still agreeing with him. You just aren't there. Like people like say on Twitter aren't there anymore to kind of denounce the bad aspects or get involved in the conversations. And ultimately it promotes a degree of ignorance because he's not stopping. He's still doing exactly what he was doing before. You just don't know about it. You're just a lot of people well, I mean, not that everyone has to be aware of what he's doing. But the people that do want to be aware of it, he's still moving up and he's still getting that power. It's just that, like I said, the majority of people that had worked against him in 2020 don't know about it. It's kind of what the situation we were back to before 2016, where generally you didn't know what the president was doing or the past president was doing, even if it was illegal or corrupt. That's why so many of these things that came up with the past 4 years were things that were standard, but still shocked and surprised people. And that's the same exact situation we could have this, where people aren't seeing all the information, but the information's out there, and the people that you're worried about getting the information have absolutely no problem whatsoever getting it. It's just the people that want to work against him, or the people that would normally, like people in chat that would normally be warning everyone about whatever Trump's doing or whatever they don't like about him, just don't have the ability to do that anymore. So large swaths of the population are being neglected from major conversations due to some degree of censorships. And all this is going to do is create a silent but more radicalized group that feels as if they are being worked against by other sources. So I don't think it's going to work out the way people want. I mean, it already wasn't. He was already being attacked and reduced on social media beforehand, and that's arguably what allowed him to gain enough power to even perform that event on the 6th. So I never think that, I mean, generally, this is the arguments I've made against censorship. Ignorance is never a good stance to be in because those voices aren't really being silent. You're just not listening to them anymore.
That, you know what you just said, beautifully said, and you definitely have a point there too. You know what I'm saying? It is a thing of making sure, like I said, that we just, I mean, I know that some of us, like myself, don't want to listen to him at all. Like, you know what I mean? You just don't want to listen. You just want to scroll through and not. That's why you have the choice whether to follow him or not. But yeah, I do feel that there is that other side where if he's brought back on, only the people that want to listen are going to listen. And it's going to be his diehards, right? So that could be the issue too. But, you know, something like that app Gab and whatnot, if he's not on there, if he's still on there and they don't let him on other platforms, then somebody or people need to be over there to watch what he's saying over there too. I know that they may not be banning him or you know, hitting him with a bunch of strikes or whatever on that platform because it's a little bit more open, right? There's no guidelines of freedom of speech. But at the same time, that's a place where if people are going over to that app and following him there just to listen to him, then we need to really make sure somebody over there that isn't Team Trump is really watching, because you never know what he's saying over there too. I mean, let me pull this up. Let me just pull this up real quick, and then we're gonna wrap the show, because I think this is something that I think we should see. It is It's a crazy video that I saw. I got to find it right quick because it's important. Let me just pull this up really quick. Give me 2 seconds. Found it. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Okay, so there is a video that has been circulating around. Hold on, let me refresh this. Okay. Okay, there's a video that I want you guys to see, and this is exactly like this is what I'm trying to explain to you on like we have got to make sure that we ain't sleeping on certain things because there are people out here that still think crazy things, like this one right here. Let's take a look.
Kennedy, 2021. What does that shirt mean?
I think that JFK Jr. is still alive.
The guy who died in the plane crash in the late 90s? You think he's still alive?
I do.
And he's going to come back and be president with Trump this year?
I hope so.
But how would Trump become president this year? There would be a new election?
There's a lot of things I think have happened, and there's some things I think I know, and a lot of things I don't.
Okay. And one thing you do know is John F. Kennedy Jr. is still alive?
That's what I believe.
Okay. Do you want to bet? Do you want to bet on it? I'll bet $100 that JFK Jr. doesn't come back from the dead. To do it.
But I don't think he's dead.
Okay. I'll bet $100 that he's not alive.
But I
you bet 100?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it.
Great.
Okay.
Sweet.
Just want to point something out, that there are people out here that are still listening and watching and believing crap like that. Just so you know, I'm sorry guys, you guys couldn't hear that. Sorry, because my bad, I forgot to share that the audio with you guys. But this woman literally believes that JFK Jr. is still alive, and that in 2021, Trump and JFK Jr. are going to take over the White House. This year, in 2021, JFK Jr., him dead, okay? But she believes that this person is going to come through, rise from the dead like the Walking Dead, and be the vice president for President Trump. Just saying. If there are people out there that are nutty enough to believe this, T beautifully said, hard eye roll. You see what I'm saying? If you're going to really believe that this, like, see, that's a piece, like just an argument on the opposing side of people who are nervous about bringing him back onto those main platforms, because there are crazy people like that will sit there and say that JFK will run and be his vice president in 2021. There are so many speculations that are circulating through the internet, social media, of people talking about how President Trump is going to take over in August. Stuff like that. It's insane. It's absolutely insane, y'all.
What I've seen, this is basically just a remnant of Q before it imploded on itself. It was kind of a conspiracy that was going around with them, though after the Proud Boys guy turned out to be an informant, a lot of the far right stuff just kind of collapsed, including Q. So I don't think Q's not really active anymore, as far as I can tell. There might be small pockets or whatever, but this is just, from what I can tell, this is just like a leftover memory from that, more or less. So, I mean, we've been seeing this generally with everyone that was involved on the 6th. Beforehand, it was pretty easy to find the coordination, especially on Twitter. That's usually why I knew about violence right when it was happening or right before it was happening, because these were planned and organized on Twitter, and they were out there for everyone to see. So I think this is just kind of a remnant of that, because it all imploded on itself. Like, Proud Boys aren't organized anymore. They're mostly broken apart. Even like Antifa on Twitter is mostly no longer does planning there, because the FBI got wise to them, because Twitter won't ban that either. But the FBI started rounding up people that recorded themselves doing violence. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that anything is going to be happening on August at all. Maybe some people will have a parade or something, or protest, but nothing legal or presidential is going to be happening on that day. So No, I mean, it is just like a methed out idea. I always say it's a methed out idea, but somebody in chat said that, and I kind of agreed.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
But,
you got to be high to think that. You must be high, but that's just me. You got a girl, you see it right there. She literally went out of her way to get a T-shirt made. You know for a fact, if you got a T-shirt printed out saying that thing, you wholeheartedly believe that ish. You believe that 100%. Don't even. I'm sorry. That takes a lot of passion and time and money to print that T-shirt out and actually wear it out. And then you got somebody like this guy who goes up there and goes, "What? Why do you think this person's still alive, baby? The man dead. Him dead. He ain't coming back. He gone. Dead and gone. Like gone." But still, people believe stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Just like that. Elvis is still alive. Tupac's still alive. Shoot. Who else has recently passed? Shoot. I don't even know who else right now off the top of my head. But anyway, Biggie's still alive. Shoot.
It's just like the thing you see with a lot of people, like for someone that's super popular or they loved him like that, they always kind of expect a resurrection to come within a year or so. Or like Tupac would show up after a year, or Elvis or some crap like that would show up after a year. And then it just keeps getting pushed back and back. Like, no, he's still alive. It'll just be like 10 years he'll come back out or something like that.
Right.
That's how people do that. But I mean, in most of these cases, the resources to actually hide what happened would be way more involved than what people have. So I mean, like Malcolm X is dead, Tupac is almost certainly dead. It's just the love of them that keeps the story going on in a lot of cases.
Almost certainly dead. I heard that, David. Almost certainly dead.
I was gonna let that float. I was just gonna let that float and see who else caught that. You had to just.
What do you know, man? When you're part of it, David, what do you know?
You're like, hey, he caught you. Hey, making sure you ain't sleeping. Just making sure y'all ain't sleeping. But yeah, man. I mean, but welcome to the world that we live in. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the world that we live in. And people will not let it go. And that's what's so sad about this whole situation. Like I said, there are plenty of people that are trying to mimic him right now as much as they can because they have the platforms or they're getting a lot of attention. Shoot, you look at MTG. You know what I'm saying? She been getting a whole lot of press coverage to the point where she got a little bit of work done. You can even see it in her face. She's getting tanner. You know what I'm saying? She's doing even more stuff to her face, etc. You know what I mean? She knows she's getting thrust into the forefront, for future things. So she's trying to look aesthetically even better looking on camera. You see what I'm saying? She's trying. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I mean, these people are trying to follow his footsteps. So, like I said, just because he is silent on those platforms does not mean that his voice isn't there. I'm sure some of these people are puppets for him by now because they think, hey, let's stay working close to him because he can help me grow to something bigger. But, we're going to have to see what happens with this lawsuit. I think it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. I don't think he has a fighting chance. I don't think he's going to win. He doesn't have Giuliani on his team anymore. That's why. That's a joke. But anyway, guys, that is the show for today. I do appreciate everybody for being I do appreciate everybody for coming on today. I really do appreciate it. You know what I mean? These are hard conversations that we got to have, and not every day are we going to agree with each other. Not every day. Right. And not every day. I'm just going to say that. You know what I mean? I'm just going to say that. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But I want to say a big thank you to the guys for being on today. I really do appreciate it. T and D. D and T.
It was a fun show.
Yeah, man. Very informative. Lots to talk about and all that ish. You know what I mean? I do appreciate everybody for coming on and chopping it up with us. T, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. But anyway, y'all, I will most likely be on tonight. I think I'm going to do tonight because I'm not going to be on tomorrow morning. One thing I'm going to talk about tonight for sure, or the main topic we're going to talk about, and you guys want to tune in because I will be opening up the phone lines. Yes, I said it. I'll be opening up the phone lines. We have definitely got to talk about this whole situation with Sha'Carri Richardson and the transgender woman that has been admitted into the Olympics for powerlifting. We got to talk about that. I want to hear your thoughts on this whole situation, where you stand on it. Do you think it's fair that she has been taken out of the Olympics completely, and yet we do have a transgender woman allowed to compete in the Olympics this year? You definitely want to tune in for that conversation because I'm sure it's going to be fire. You hear what I just did that? I just did that. I just did that, y'all. You proud of me, T? You proud?
James Brown Jr. Okay. That's so.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The sound. Okay, anyway. So we're going to have some fun with that conversation tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So be sure to tune in and be a part of the conversation. David, you're not going to tell me that you were not impressed by those vocals right there? David, what the hell, man? Speak up.
I thought T said it all.
Oh, okay. Fine. That's fair enough. Anyway, or I need to get some vocal lessons from JJ Fish real quick. Y'all, I'm sorry, you didn't hear it. You didn't hear it. Hold on. Before we go, because I can and because I'm an ass, we're gonna I'm gonna let you guys hear this because you guys didn't get to hear this. Hold on. One more again for all y'all. Hold up. One more again. Because I need to see the looks on y'all's faces when you hear this ish. Real talk.
I was in shock, so shocked to think that I've just been shot down right down in this spot. But too bad this hasn't happened to lie. Oh, baby, got me visualizing me on top.
Okay, I'm done. All I'm gonna say is, hey, even the people that can't sing worth a damn deserve to have a platform to be heard, okay? Like I said, by the way, I just want you guys to hear this. I want you guys to know this.
What was that?
You want to know what that was? That was 83 million views, by the way. That's what you just heard.
Kidding me.
That's what the hell that was. That was 83 million views, baby. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I was going to say. 83 million views. Just saying. Even my dogs will say, stop it. Stop playing that. Shh. Please. Anyway.
Make a fool of yourself on there and you get all the audience.
Oh, man. Oh, anyway. Anything to make you guys laugh and have a grand old time. Anyway, like I said, I appreciate everybody for being on. Thank you guys for being on. I appreciate y'all. Thank you guys, everybody who's tuning in, the family, etc. If you haven't done it yet, hit that like button down below. Please hit that like button down below. For those of y'all who are new to the show, please crush that subscribe button. We work hard out in these streets. I don't know how many ways I can say that, man. We're working towards 40,000 subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button. Share this show. Even if it's a little clip, you're like, haha, we had a great time. He chuckled. He tickled my ribs. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how that even works, but you know what I'm saying. He tickled a rib or two. You know what I mean? He made me laugh. Y'all need to go and subscribe to this show. Please do that, because we work hard, so hard, out here in these streets, just for you. All right? Join the Pascal Show family. All right? Hit that join button. $4.99 a month. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's hard out here for a pimp. That's all I'm saying. Okay? And we got 3 of us. There's a lot of mouths to feed. Okay? Got a family to feed. Got a family to feed. What did you say, David?
So we all got dogs or children, too.
Yep. We got dogs, children. You know what I mean?
All need to eat.
You know what I'm saying? The ones that are the loudest in the room. You know what I'm saying? When they hungry. See, you heard them. See what I'm saying? Perfect timing. My babies. Yes. You know what I'm saying? So help us out. You know what I mean? Just 10 cents a day. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I love all you guys. Stay safe out there. Stay positive, okay? Do something positive with your day today, okay? It could be anything from opening the door for a lady or for somebody or giving the Pascal show a bunch of monies. Whichever works, whatever floats your boat, okay? Good deeds go very, very far in the world, okay? It trickles down, all right? Pay it forward. Anyway, we got to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another, and I'll see you guys tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.
Wishing you love, peace, and wellness for the holidays. Don't cancel them. Prepare, STL. Decorate. Make it as normal as you can, but slow the spread of COVID. Wear a mask. Wash your hands. Watch your distance. Prepare, STL, helping St. Louisans of color prepare and prevail.
But you see how he makes these S's in his body right here? That's where he's hanging on, and then he's moving forward with the locomotion of his ribs. That is classic Missouri rat snake right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab him before he gets into a hole. Now, these snakes are not biters. They won't bite as long as you don't squeeze them. If you just stop them like this, it'll freeze them, and then you just gently pull them back. And as long as you don't squeeze them, they won't bite.
Yo, Mike, what's up, man?
Guy? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, so Sugar Fire.
Yeah.
Fully open, right?
Yeah, we're pretty much open. So you can't sit inside yet. Monday you can sit inside a little bit. We'll have 25% of the tables inside, and then we're letting it rip outside.
So I know that there's a lot of people really concerned about staying safe and all of that.
No,
so what are you guys doing in regards to that?
Well, we have extra people to clean and rub everything down all the time. Everybody inside's wearing masks. And we have those little stickers on the ground so everyone can stay 6 feet apart.
Right on.
The tables are all spaced out, inside and outside.
Sugar Fire, open in full effect right now. They're staying healthy, they're staying clean. Go get you a rack of ribs. Sugar Fire, open right now.
Thanks.
The Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur and leather goods.